Hello, everybody. And my camera's kind of messed up, so sorry about that.
Equipment hard to find these days.
I mean, it's just life. But yeah. So hello, everybody. It's me, StrykerDragoon, and here you have on that side. There we go. I got it. You have Professor Stretch here, and we are two of your four corners of commentary. So tonight's a very special night. We're actually going to start our Women's Her Story Month, where we are going to be spotlighting many wonderful and talented women across wrestling and podcasting. So, here we go. Hold on a second here.
If anybody out there would know a good engineer for a podcast, please refer it. I'm kidding. Strike's doing the best I can.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a response.
Oh,
there we go. Sir.
Oh, speaking of
Sir,
the light-skinned devil himself.
You're on the air, like Radio Free Roscoe.
What's going on, y'all? My bad. Oh, my fault.
I was having in the midst of intro time.
Technical difficulty, so I apologize.
At the methadone clinic, huh?
Man, shut up. Wow, that's OD. Oh, man. I apologize, y'all. Having a little trouble with the tech.
He's the oldest one of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. The performance at his age happens very often, you know.
I'm tired.
Yeah, we
it's been a long day.
Have to count for the geriatrics, yo. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I mean, myself included. I'm old as fuck.
It's all right. I get it.
I'm tired.
When you're a giraffe and a turtle, things just happen when you're in the animal kingdom.
Right?
Hey. Turtles live a long time and giraffes are incredibly long. What's your excuse?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm going to just pop up with the intros here. You are.
It came off, you already know.
QS, unfortunately, is not with us tonight, but we wish him the best. And hopefully he will be on Thursday, if not, sometime very soon. Mm-hmm. And also wish him a happy early birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
We're going to mention it again on Thursday, so just be aware if you see him on social media or if you ever see him in person, wish him happy birthday. His birthday is Friday, March 17th.
Mm-hmm.
And where the hell's the rest of the stuff? There we go. And we've got the big Stretch right there. And you got me. This is Good Energy, StrykerDragoon. There we are. And we are now officially three of your four corners of commentary. So, tonight's guest is very well known, very elite, and we're not shorting any terms here. Amazing energy, always a good time, and knows her shit. Definitely knows her shit when it comes to every little bit of wrestling you can think of. We are bringing in a Texas native, definitely a cowgirl, for all we know. Yeah. And we will be introducing tonight the one, the only, all elite Keeks, ladies and gentlemen.
Crowd goes wild. What?
Welcome. You're on mute, remember?
Thank you.
It happens.
I be forgetting I'm on mute. Thank you.
That was great.
What's going on, lady?
Hey, Mr. Lightman. Hey. Arriving, as we call it, fashionably late.
Right. Well, look, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it so much. This has been a long time coming. As always, we gotta kind of shout out Jobbeteers because without them, a lot of these connections wouldn't be made. So appreciate y'all. So first and foremost, what is it about AEW that you love so much?
It reminds me of WCW Cruiserweight Division, and WCW Cruiserweight Division is why I love wrestling.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So we know AEW Revolution just passed. It was about a little over a week ago now, and there's been a lot of things going on. There's been a little bit of controversy. There's been a lot of smack talk, like always. So far, between just everything on Sunday, not counting what happened Wednesday, was there any particular moment that stood out to you the most?
Adam Hangman Page. Moxley did a real good job giving him his light back from the BS that he went through last year and when he held the title and the criticism and the things that happened between him and Mr. Phil. So it was definitely his night. And that's what stood out the most to me, in my opinion.
Yeah. I hear you. Gentlemen, any other match or moments?
For
Revolution
pay-per-view? Oh, okay,
yeah.
For Revolution. How did you feel about House of Black winning? I'm happy, but just for little to no builds, and the rumor that the Elite were going over, or the rumor that they're possibly leaving. What do you think about just them winning? What they can bring to the Trios division, and what may be missing from the Trios division?
So I don't know if I was against the grain, but I kind of felt that they were going to win. Honestly, I kind of thought they were going to win the whole time, like even from the jump. Like as in once they really announced the Trios titles, I kind of thought, all right, if you're going to give it anybody, give it a House of Black. So I guess for me, it was just kind of more like, when are they going to get the titles, more than a if, you know what I mean? But it's fun right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I like about it, because you don't have these 6-man matches for no reason now. There's meaning to it. And there's so many different factions. This is one of the best ways you can utilize different factions than to just have what we've been having for so long. So I think, especially coming up with Wednesday, I think, yeah, man, I think now is a sense of like unpredictable. I can't speak right now. Sorry, had a long day. It's just crazy. I know. I have my Porky Pig moment. But yeah, honestly, I think especially for like mainland fans, you know what I mean? Like people who just watched the WWE for so long, or did watch like some of WCW or TNA or ROH, you know what I mean? So it's like more of it's out there, so I don't know, man. I'm excited. I mean, they ain't gonna lose, but I'm excited.
Same to you, to our wonderful guest. What do you think about just the trio situation in general?
It's the right call was made because you have to remember Kenny does have the IWGP United States Championship, which he will have to eventually start fighting for that. And also, of course, Bucks is going back in the tag team division because there is still unsettled beat between them and FTR. But that's if, the contract, which I feel like they are going to sign, they're going to renew their contract with AEW. I don't think that they're leaving AEW. They're just trying to, make sure that they get their money and things like that. Because Matt Jackson has hinted that, we're not going to do this forever, so I'm pretty certain they're going to renew. And then until that contract ends, that'll probably be the last time we'll probably see Young Bucks, because Young Bucks and Kenny, because they have been wrestling for a while. So the right call was made for House of Black to win. Now they are adding other members towards the trios division. So we just have to stay tuned and see how it goes. But people, we've been wanting Aleister Black to have some form of title since he's been there. And now he does. So we just have to wait and see. But the right call was made.
Yeah. Professor Stretch.
I mean, a couple of things stood out from Revolution for me personally. Number one, shout out to Ricky Starks for the Shane and Douglas inspired gear. I did enjoy that, black and gold. Yep. He also had one of kind of like a design like one of Shane Douglas's old jackets. So I always liked that. Biggest thing that stood out to me, main event. That's one of the best Iron Man matches I've ever seen in my life. And I remember looking on Twitter afterwards, as one does, right? I get the pulse of what the plebeians are saying. And people were complaining, oh, I can't believe MJF cheated. I'm like, really? He's staying true to his character. It's it could be a more perfect ending to that match that he had to cheat to win that match. Who else in the company, would cheat, to win a match like that? Only thing I wish I would see from AEW, and I'm glad they were able to do this in this match. They used something as small as him using a weapon, and it meant something. We got the hardcore match where they beat the dog crap out of each other with everything, and you saw your near falls and stuff like that. But for the main event to finish like that, with him hitting him with an oxygen tank, steel tank, and it meant something, it led to the finish of the match, I thought was really good. I think MJF made a lot of believers out of a lot of people. People were oh, he's just, he's all show and no go, and he's just talk and no walk and stuff like that. He really proved he can go, and he hung with essentially who's probably the greatest worker in the world, Bryan Danielson, to this point. He hung in there, and he definitely proved his mettle. So I think he did fantastic. I actually loved that match.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other takeaways? Any takeaways, Keek? Anything that you want to, I guess, put a spotlight on for at least a pay-per-view? That's something that we should look forward to.
Yes, the women's division, AEW, the match, between Saraya, Jamie Hayter, and Ruby Soho. Mm-hmm. It's leading up eventually to our first AEW Women's Blood and Goods. So that's doing pretty well. That stood out too, because it was some people that was shocked about the Ruby Soho heel turn, but I wasn't. I've been predicting it. That was the fight for Ruby Soho right now. Mm-hmm. So now they have their three, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter is now for their third, which I feel like they're going to end up picking Willow Nightingale, part of it. So, it's leading up to that. The first AEW Women's Blood and Goods. Maybe it'll probably happen at Double or Nothing. We don't know yet.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I got a takeaway. I'm glad you mentioned the women's division, because I was saying to myself, why is Jade Cargill not on this show? About that too. Some type of capacity. To me, I think that they're getting better, I think, as far as showcasing and highlighting the women. I think one thing that people are complaining about women doing the hardcore matches and stuff like that. I actually think that's gaining them a lot of attention in a positive way. So I don't necessarily have any gripes about that. They're workers. They're trained to do this stuff. They want to participate in hardcore matches like the men. Let them do it. There's no problem with that, right? We're all equals in this society, hopefully, even though we're not always treated as such. But with that said, I think somebody the magnitude of Jade Cargill, I think they can't afford for her to cool down. She was really red hot at one point. It's kind of almost reminiscent of what happened to Wardlow. Wardlow was super hot at one point as a babyface, and he's considerably cooled down to the point where it's he lost his title in a matter of days, and that's never a good thing, right? But I think with Jade, they have a bona fide star on their hands and somebody with real crossover potential, and they could definitely use that, like for the growth of their company. To me, she's like can be like the face of their company at some point as a woman performer.
I have an input on that because you have to remember she also has said on interviews she likes spending time with her daughter, and she likes to have her off time. Also, I've explained it so many times with Jade. Y'all have to remember Jade is still on the iffy green side. She is showcased. It's just if you saw her, you saw her. If you don't, you don't. Because she had a match on Rampage. Like I said on Twitter, when people was like she underutilized, I was like, did you see her match on Rampage? Oh no. Okay, be quiet.
It's very true.
So you have. With Jade, this is my thing. She can progress. Her issue is me from what I've seen. She has to trust her opponent, and she doesn't trust her opponent. And I want to use the match that she had against Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose will protect you in the ring. The communication was all because she's not trusting her opponent. The only opponent I would say that she trusted was Red Velvet and Athena. They was the only two. But people want more of Jade. Okay, if you was to see a match right now with Jade versus Jamie Hayter, you will see how much Jamie Hayter will have to tone down so Jade can keep up. I don't want to see that because Jade's going to get slandered even more. It's just going to expose her even more that she's not ready. So I do agree. Both is right. She needs more, showcase, but at the same time, you have to trust your opponent. Now, I do give kudos to Danielson because he has helped improve her a lot. He really has. But the girls that she is ready, she's saying she's ready to face, she's not ready. She's not ready for Sheeta. She's not ready for Jamie Hayter. She's not, she's not for the people that is hard, like Serena Deeb, like people like her. So at the same time, you have to keep in mind that she also said that she wants to be able to take off when she take off, and she wants to be able to, hey, me and my husband going here, and I want to go here. I don't want to go. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Like Absolutely. She wants to do this. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't say I want to do this, but then you also I want to be showcased more. It's not how it works. You see, we've been begging Moxley to take a vacation, and he hasn't. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. Like,
yeah, you're right.
So I get it because she is a star. Yes, like when you see her on screen, you get star. But we're in AEW. AEW is more of we want to see in ring. Like she would be perfect if it was like an entertainment based point. But this is more of a pro wrestling. So you can't be like, I'm ready for this girl, because you can do 4 good moves. You're dealing with people that has been in Joshi wrestling, and they've been in the indies. They haven't, they didn't start off like you. They have history. So that's the only thing that I want. I just want her to learn to trust her opponent. You have to trust your opponent. We've seen, like, the vets have said them themselves, how they start, how they position themselves before the bell ring is how you know you're going to have a good or bad match. And she just have to learn to trust. Like, if you can't trust Nyla Rose, you got to work on that. You have to work on that. That's the only, like, when people love to compare her and Bianca, I know we ain't talking about WWE, but Bianca, the difference is when Bianca did her interview and she said that was the first time me and Sasha been in the ring, but I trusted her enough that it was going to turn out. Jade has to have that same mindset. Like, you have to trust these women. Like, Nyla Rose was going to make sure that you look good and was not going to hurt you. You have to trust your opponent.
It's a dance. At the end of the day, it's a dance.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
That's my only gripe.
And that's something I think that we as wrestling fans sometimes take for granted. I'm glad that you brought that up. Like, these are individuals who have personal lives and lives outside of wrestling, right? This is like essentially a job, like any other job, right? You're entitled to time off. I would say that, like, and this is something that you brought up, and I think that's an excellent point also. Like, all around, that was astute, and I'm very impressed. I have to say that. But I think that, like you mentioned, that, the fans, I think, more of AEW are more geared toward the in-ring presentation. I think that they kind of have struck gold in a sense with Jade Cargill, because I think that there is an important part of the entertainment aspect and just having that presence there. Like to me, she like out of everybody in the division, she can get attention without having to have a headlock. And that's something like that needs to be said, and I think it needs to be showcased a little bit more, whether it be having her like in a spot where she's having an interview or something like that, or she's scouting a match, something. Just having her on the card in some way, shape, or form for that exposure, not necessarily just in her in-ring capacity. She's in a sense, to me, and I know that this is a little bit of an off-base comparison, but she's almost in a sense like somebody like maybe The Rock, or even I think like a quintessential example would be Hogan, in the sense of like she's nowhere near as manipulative, of course, but like I don't think anybody could be, as far as like Hogan, but in the sense of like she doesn't have to put on like a technical wrestling masterpiece to say watch me.
Oh yeah, no,
like
you're right.
She commands attention in a room just by walking and breathing in the air in the room, right? Same with Hogan, in the sense like Hogan is never going to be known for like any 5-star classic, but I would be lying to you if I said Hulkmania was not a phenomenon at some point, right? Like he walked into a room with that red and yellow and like ripped the shirt and everything, and kids and everybody went crazy. Jade Cargill has that type of je ne sais quoi about her, has that type of skill, that it factor about her, where she can just walk onto a stage, everybody's like eyes are on her, and she commands that type of attention. But I wholeheartedly agree with you that there is going to be at some point something more expected of her in ring. So I think you're absolutely right as far as like her having to trust more and like putting her with the right type of opponent to like bring the best like skills out of her, because she is like in a delicate stage of her career where she is, even though she has like that it factor, it does draw that much attention. She's still like that delicate sense of still growing in the ring. She is still essentially very new at this, even though she's a really great athlete.
What, year 2? I think it was her anniversary soon, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Like I'm glad that what they're not doing, I will say this, I am glad that they're not putting her in like these cold random title matches like against other randomly cold opponents. Like she had a match against Marina Shafir, who I thought like that was not the right way to go, because it was just like, okay, we're having this match, like she's defending her title, like yay, like, and it's like Marina needs a lot of work on her own own response.
Right.
Like she was not like, I was like, they both can't, because they can't, because she can't carry her. She's still working on her stuff. Like
two green workers does not make a forest.
No, it don't. Like, I'm still rooting though, like, but no.
So I have a question. Right. Mm-hmm. I think there's two things that definitely need to be touched upon real quick. Number one, Wardlow winning and then losing so quickly. If that was the case, why not just have Samoa Joe take the fall?
You have to remember, Tony Khan has said on the media scrum that they're trying to separate the ROH and the AEW. And Samoa Joe also hinted as well, I'd rather it be Hobbs than me. So we can, because what they're going to do is most likely put Wardlow in ROH. That's why that happened. And you have to also remember the TNT Championship is supposed to be a transitional championship.
Yeah, hot potato championship.
Yeah, it's a hot potato championship. Right. Unfortunately, like with Scorpio Sky and things like that, it just didn't work. The only person that made it work besides Cody was Darby Allin.
Right.
Sammy Guevara messed that up. So it ain't been right ever since. But Samoa Joe did a good job when he had it. And of course, Darby Allin, but he, Darby is filming right now. So he's not even, but, what they're trying to do, that's why I'm assuming they're going to put Wardlow in ROH because they still looking for, they still recruiting for our ROH. So for that TV title. So I think that's more where it's leading to for the ROH Supercard that's coming up in Mania weekend.
I can see that.
He's world champion easy.
I still think they did him a disservice in the sense of as red hot as he was. I remember telling both Strike and Marvel over here, he easily could have been a candidate to me to be world champion, especially in the fact that how CM Punk lost the championship to Jon Moxley. That was essentially a squash.
Right.
So Why not have the guy who's red hot, who's excelling in squash matches? The last person I've been able to see get a power bomb over in America like that was Sid, and it was like people want to see him power bomb, kill people. Like you have CM Punk, who has a bad foot, can't wrestle or whatever. That was the story they were going for. Just have him power bomb him into oblivion and have him win the title. He's red hot at that point.
Right.
Like for me, he could have easily been in a feud. Like I could see him in a feud with MJF. They had him squash him with no problem, right?
Which he did mention. He did mention that at the media scrum afterwards.
I would hope he gets back on track because he has a world of potential to me as a babyface. I remember him cutting a promo when he broke away from MJF. He cut a sympathetic babyface promo.
And we were shocked.
And he got everybody to buy in. And I was shocked. I didn't know he had it in him. I didn't know he could talk. And I was like, this is perfect. Like they have he's a big guy. He can move. He can keep up with the smaller guys in AEW. He's versatile in the ring, I think. He's deceptively agile for somebody his size. Like he's a muscular guy and he's deceptively agile. So I think
want to say something. Oh, well, when you done?
Yeah, I think personally, like the guy, he is world champion material. Now, hindsight, do you want to rush somebody like that in the spot? No, but I think that they could have taken the risks to do so with him. I didn't think they had anything to lose, really.
Well, y'all have to remember Tony listens to the AEW fans. And if you listen to the AEW fans, they were kind of losing the momentum with Wardlow. And honestly, I feel like Wardlow is best if he was in WWE. I don't think AEW is for Wardlow. Wardlow is perfect for WWE type because that's why it's kind of hard to book him because they don't have anything figured out for him. But I also got a suggestion on my show last week. Someone said that they think that he needs a manager and a female manager. It will work because he is a pretty boy.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned what is her name? She with the crutches. I cannot think of her name.
Rebel?
Yes.
That would work.
They set pair Rebel up with Wardlow. And I was like, I can kind of see that.
It's funny you say that because I remember this is like really the early days of AEW, like when they were just starting out. I think it might have been Fyter Fest, and they played a vignette for Wardlow, like before he debuted with MJF, and he was like the bodyguard and all that stuff. They played a vignette for him, and it was like I was captivated by the vignette. Like he was like this badass guy, like he was beating up like this group of people, and he was with a woman. And I'm saying to myself, like when he debuted, I'm like, where's the woman? Like I didn't get it. Like he just showed up and he was with MJF, and I'm like, okay, this works. Don't get me wrong. He looks like a bouncer, like he's believable. But at the same token, that's not how they debuted him to the audience. And I'm like, I thought he would have a woman manager. I absolutely 100% agree with you with the fact that if he had a manager, specifically a woman, that accentuates how large he is and how muscular he is. Like I think he could easily get over like that.
I think that's what he needs.
Yeah, and then one more thing. We got to talk about the incident with MJF and the kid.
Yeah,
so we have two parents here. And I don't know if it was staged or not. I think everybody has their own opinion about it. I know it wasn't. In my heart, I know it wasn't. But let's be real. There wouldn't have been a match. Because there's no way in hell. There's no way. I don't think it really needs to be said anymore after that. Like that type
very
of
lucky that lady did not decide to attack him.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, he must be out his damn mind. Because if that was my kid, woo.
And then the whole issue I had with that too is like the kid was like first of all, people was pissing me off because they was like, well, he had a wrestling show. I'm like, it's a kid. And I've said it all the time. People do not view black children as children. Exactly. That's the problem for one. Talking about, well, he knew where he was going. He's a child. No. And he was just sitting down minding his business. He wasn't yelling or nothing like that. He's sitting down and, you threw a drink at him. Yeah, he was upset.
Yep.
And I'm hearing that it wasn't water.
Well,
alcohol, tequila, they said.
So like,
I don't know.
It's just bad taste. Bad taste in general.
You don't take that risk.
Either way,
plants.
I'm just ready for his reign to end. I'm sick of him.
Plants. It'd be one thing, like if it was like a quote unquote a part of the script, and it was a planted child, and the child knows what's coming and stuff like that, and parent consent and stuff like that. This is a kid who's like he's a regular fan like anyone else. The mom is a regular fan like anyone else. Does not know
completely lost.
Right.
Didn't know what was happening.
Had no idea what was happening. You know, they got this drink thrown on him and evidently pitched a fit, and rightfully so. He didn't see it coming. He's very lucky that mom did not decide to either A, press charges, or B, beat the shit out of him on live TV because it made him look weak.
And she'd have and the crazy part is that she'd have all the rights.
All the leverage legally because
all the rights.
Someone assaulted her child. That is assault. And people are like, oh, like he's getting like heel heat, like he's a classic. Like, I agree with you 100%. He's a kid.
There's a line to it.
Even if it's
at the end of the day, it's a kid.
Just still a kid.
Even if he he could have knocked it out of her hand. This different story, you know.
Yeah, everybody was like,
"Oh, no harm, no foul," you know. At that point, but
he could have left an innocent fan alone, and he could have targeted.
He could have just left it alone. You're right. Left it alone.
The ref's a part of the show. Pick on the ref. Why take that risk with a non-scripted fan? Like you don't know how to fan react.
Right.
Would that have caused the DQ if he threw that in the match?
No.
I'm just asking for speculation.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because
I could have just taken it. I would have threw it in Brian's face.
I mean, if it's water, the body is made of water. Does it really count? Water coolers.
Shout out to Miranda because she went out there. Also, they said Will from Grapsody did too. Some more people. Tony got her backstage, and
that's cool.
But of course, I said, but did he apologize? Because he's not gonna apologize. They always have to apologize for him, but he's not gonna do it.
Listen,
I'm just glad they were able to resolve it, but it's one of those cases of shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Very lucky.
It shouldn't happen in the first place.
That was an easy lawsuit.
Now I can go far left and say, hey, you know, maybe he spoke to this kid way before and said, hey, I'm gonna do something crazy. You're gonna get this backstage tour. Like I'm just you know so out there minded. I'm not
saying he went up to his ear was like, hey little nigga, listen.
I ain't saying
I don't need you to take this water in the face. I'll give you $5 and a lollipop and y'all come backstage.
Yeah, because they said the mama got upset because when she looked, he started crying.
Of course.
Yeah, that would make any parent mad. Like, it's me. If that was mine.
But if my mom is drinking and had tequila in her cup and the tequila went in my eyes, of course I'm a freaking cry.
I know for a hot fact.
It's
I would see me got arrested live on TV.
If I was that kid, my mom, like at his age, my mom would have gotten arrested. My mom would have tried to attack him. Like I can tell you that wholeheartedly. Yeah. My mom would have jumped on his back and tried to gouge his eyes.
Was security in the area at that time?
They was, but the security.
But you can't predict that. You know what I mean? Like
it was part of the show.
It is what it is. Like I can't. Like I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but
it happened. Like how far was security? Because I barely seen the security
Well,
around.
they was like the fine when he was like right there in the front. He was in the front. He was like right there, but he was looking like, is this part of the show? Did they
right
part of the show?
Because it's like I'm supposed to protect you
until he
from
saw
them.
her upset, and then that's when he was like, oh shit, this is not part of. Oh, let me calm her down. So that's when they got Tony sent all of them, you know, to comfort her to get her backstage, and he got Powerhouse Hobbs autograph, Ricky Starks autograph.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people met him backstage. But
I think what sucks about the whole thing is that this is one of those situations where the moment transcends the match.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like Stretch said, like the match was amazing. Like it really was. It was amazing. And I think people who have followed MJF for a while knew that he could do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially if you watch his work in MLW with the Dynasty. You know what I mean?
It's another brawl out situation.
Yeah.
To me,
almost.
Brawl out more.
Almost.
His return.
Almost.
Yeah, in the sense of, to me, like that one little blemish kind of like so many people like hyper focused on it that it took away from like a really good match. Like,
yeah,
maybe like the match should be the only thing that like people should remember from that. But now we're gonna be like, oh, remember when he threw this drink on this kid that wasn't a part of the show, which is like kind of like tarnishing like a little bit of it for me. Yeah.
Well, I have a little tidbit from QS and his little mini review of AEW Revolution.
Miss you, bro.
Hopefully, it's loud enough to play. So here we go.
Oh, being that I'm not on the show, I still have to have some type of influence or some type of presence. So I'll give my takes on AEW Revolution. For starters, Starks and Jericho. I never really cared for this feud. I guess it was kind of entertaining. I didn't really care at first because one, Starks already beat Jericho. I don't know why we're still continuing this, but cool. To get the win again. There really wasn't anything I was really surprised at or happy about. Gave it a 3
out of 5.
Good wrestling. I mean, it's always enjoyable to see Ricky Starks, getting pushed. And it's also good, Chris Jericho's the GOAT, no matter what. One of the GOATs at least. So they did what they had to do. I'm glad it was a match that they got out of the way. I'm glad. The final burial with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. This was entertaining. I mean, obviously with the final burial, you think that it's, well, what is this going to be, a buried alive match? No, it's just a casket match. And they just decided to put the casket at the stage instead of the ring, which is cool. Gives it a little bit more of an intense feel. From what I saw, Christian Cage obviously is proving why he's the better wrestler than Edge. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. I know it has nothing to do with the other. I just had to throw that out there.
Got to.
Christian really was being a typical heel, doing the work. Jack Perry prevailed, showing out, showing grit, showing that he has that dog in him. I gave that match a solid 3.5. That's just my take, 3.5. The AEW Trios Championship was probably my favorite match of the night. Only because I know everybody really loves and appreciates the Elite, but I really do appreciate House of Black.
Next.
So all in all, I really was always rooting for House of Black to win, and I'm glad to see that result actually came to fruition. Glad to see that that they ended up their presentation phenomenal. Hard hitting from back and forth. To me, it was good, solid wrestling. Good, solid near falls. When I thought that the Elite was going to win, and I was just going to roll my eyes again, they decided to just say, no, we're not doing that. And they gave it to the right team. Won. House of Black really does deserve those trios titles, and I think they're going to go forward and push the division. They've arrived. Bottom line, they've arrived. Solid for me, 4.5. I give that match for me was 4.5. Only I give it the 0.5 because again, my favorite team won. I don't care about anything else. The AEW Women's Championship, I had to watch that twice. Only because the first time I watched it, I walked off. It was a pass. I didn't, and it's not because I'm not a fan of Jamie Hayter. I actually love Jamie, love what she's doing with the belt. I just don't really care for Saraya. I don't care for Saraya anymore. And no comment on Ruby Soho. No comment. But all in all, watch it again. It was pretty hard hitting. It was entertaining.
What is
it was entertaining. It was good to see Jamie Hayter win. I think and I say why it was entertaining because there was even that spot with Saraya, like in the middle, telling them to stop, and they actually stopped and looked at her, and then just ended up beating the living shit out of her again, which was funny. That was funny to me. But I think what just made me really walk away from it again, and I'm not giving it a pass this time, but I'll give it a 3. It's just the Ruby Soho turn. I was just oh, okay. It was just a lot of foolishness that really just didn't make any sense.
Green hair.
That's what did it. I didn't understand the point of that. Why are you damaging cameraman's property? Whatever. Them still with this freaking NWO loser painting. Like that's a waste of time. It's not. It's really not. It's not getting me that y'all think it's getting. It's just dragging on. I feel like this part of a women's storyline has dragged on far too long.
I'm glad he ain't on here. I am glad he ain't on here.
Speed this up. If this is gonna lead to a blood and guts match, please just speed the shit up. Thank you. The TNT. Oh no, Texas Death Match. Straight up, 4 stars. I give it 4 stars because I guess like I said, the gore, the blood and gore, it's cool. It's cool when it's done every now and then, but when you see it every goddamn week, when you see good old Mox blading himself every fucking week, it loses the luster, it loses the allure. I just felt like the way I was watching the match, I just felt like I was watching an Extreme Rules match or again a Texas Death Match. I just felt like I was watching a really hardcore gory match in a WWE 2K video game, or better yet, just in any wrestling video game. Sorry, we're not doing that. It's just something that I would see in any wrestling video game. That's just what it looked like to me. So initially, didn't give a shit for the blood and gore anymore. It's cool, but it was still a good match. I really want this Mox and Hangman Page rivalry to be done. It's over. Hangman is the better man. He's won. Let it go. We see that Hangman is really the ace of the fucking company. He's the ace. He's shown it. This is right here is the true story that he's supposed to be really the chosen one that's probably going to end up being back on top. Give it to him.
Hold on. Let me hear this portion real quick. TNT Championship.
Wardlow versus Mojo. Pass. I'm not giving that hard pass. I just wasn't feeling it. Like, it looks good on paper for the match of what you would expect. But what I saw when I was watching it as a viewer, it just didn't connect with me. It didn't stick with me. I'm glad that Wardlow won the TNT Championship again. But overall for that match, that was probably for me the worst match of the night. I'm good. I'm so fucking good. I'm sorry. I ain't giving it no fucking rating. No one's cheating on shit. Nobody. I would hope that Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs is way better than what I would want to see with that match. I'm good. I'm good. Hard pass. And that's just it. Nothing more, nothing less. Tag Team Championship. Man, what the fuck ever. It was cool. I mean, they're working with what they got. It is what it is. I mean, you already got to roll your eyes when you see fucking Jeff Jarrett in a fucking championship match in 2023. It is what it is.
Who slammed him?
Somehow this motherfucker somehow finds a way.
He doesn't. He's not a
pay-per-view aspect. He just finds a way. So I guess give him a shout out for the consistency. But overall, the Guns won again. It was a little entertaining here and there, but the Guns winning, it's like, okay, cool, whatever. They're still to me transitional champs, but I guess we're gonna keep giving them a chance. Dope to see FTR back. Dope to see that I'm glad that they went and interrupted the Guns because I don't want to hear no victory speech from those idiots. I'm good on that. It's a 3. It was a 3 just because of the wrong teams for this turmoil match. The wrong teams were in there. To go against the Guns, I would have rather seen an Aussie Open. I would have rathered to see. I would have not, and maybe still keep Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, but I would have rather see Aussie Open in there instead. But I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett anywhere near title opportunity ever again. Let's keep praying.
It's just crazy
for that one.
Wednesday.
This slander.
Iron Man match. It's very interesting how this match is causing all of this
main event
discourse about what is the best 5-star matches, what's the best Iron Man match. MJF versus Bryan Danielson, AEW World Championship, it is up there as probably one of the top Iron Man matches. You know what I mean? If we all like to compare Iron Man matches to like the Shawn and Brett's, the Rock Triple H, the Angle Lesnar's, the Bailey and Sasha's. We like to compare those, but in all honesty, like I would not gonna say I would say MJF versus Danielson. I personally I think I put it at like number 3. I put it at like number 3 or number 2. It's definitely better to me. Is it better than Brett and Shawn? Wrestling wise, storyline wise, yes, I could say that. So that's why I give this, and it's the only match on this whole card that gets a full 5 stars for me. It's only shot.
And that's
match on this card. Because it's just the storytelling of it. The storytelling was great. MJF doing his thing as a heel. Obviously, you know, black community, we wasn't feeling him throwing tequila on a black child. You know, but I guess, you know, if we're going with the heel work, he did his thing as a heel. I wasn't feeling. I wasn't even saying I wasn't feeling. I think the only thing I just didn't agree with was.
Why are you trying to swat something?
Like the constant.
I'm waiting till he does on the Texas Death Match.
Like constant pauses that MJF did. I just was like, I wanted him to really be more sinister, but I guess, you know, we'll get that, I guess, more with his Reign of Terror.
The fact that he's
good to see, you know, to even see Bryan Danielson like tapping out to his own label lock. That was big. That's a big rub. That's a big give to MJF. You know, it's good to see Bryan Danielson. He's giving back. Yep. You know, we really all thought he and for the most part, like I went into watching this pay-per-view thinking that like, oh, well, the build is what it is, what it is. I didn't really care much about it. I honestly thought MJF was just going to win, but there was a lot of cases where I really thought Bryan was going to actually do this. I was like, oh wow, Bryan Danielson really has done what he can always do. Is he captivates you and he draws you in and convinces you that he needs to win. And he convinced me that he should have won, but it just wasn't in the cards. It's not his time, and that's all right. That's cool. Grade wise for this pay-per-view, I'll give it's an A. It's an A/A-. Maybe this would have been an A+ if those two matches weren't on the card. If Starks and Jericho weren't on the card, and if the TNT Championship just didn't exist on this, I probably would have been like, okay, this would have been a perfect pay-per-view. I would have maybe wished the women came a little harder. I wish they did, but I think that's time will show that it's going to gradually get better. I'm not going to say maybe. It'll gradually get better, but it's a solid A. It's a solid A. Still a damn good pay-per-view. You can go and rewatch it. Hopefully somebody else can just put the pay-per-view on YouTube instead of us having to go to pirated sites to watch it. But that's all I got. That's all I got. You know, God bless. Unfortunately, you know, shout outs to you, Keeks. Unfortunately, I couldn't be able to be there and enjoy the episode with y'all and kick it and actually shoot the shit like we really could have and made this even more back and engaging. That's the best we got. Appreciate it. And thank you for always coming on. Appreciate y'all.
That's the brother.
And that's
because I would have been back and forth.
I was about to say that.
He said 2 things. That's why I got this ruler. Let me tell you something about. Hold on. Let me tell you something about Texas Death Match. First of all, he was loud and wrong with that. I'm a Texas girl, so I can speak on it. The only criticism that you should give the Texas Death Match is that it wasn't in Texas. That's it. Because that was the best Texas Death Match that I have seen in this era. They did it right. It was enough blood, not the shit GCW be doing. That what they did is a Texas Death Match through and through. I know the Von Erichs would have been proud. Everybody that stepped foot in the sportatorium that's done a Texas Death Match would have been proud of that match. They did it correctly. So that was some bullshit. I mean, that was some messed up stuff that you said about the Texas Death Match. Okay?
You can curse. It's okay.
Feel free to curse.
My kids.
Good point. I forgot about that.
Good point. Never mind.
They were, you was that about?
Wait, what time is it now? Go to bed. You pay. Listen.
I will say this. I think he was a little bit overly harsh with the
no bills.
I think it was a perfectly fine hardcore match. I don't disagree with him.
Texas Deathmatch?
Moxley blading. I think there's like 3 guaranteed things in life: death, taxes, and he will cut himself eventually. The fact that he's been doing it for so long, it's like, okay, I can kind of see why he says it takes away from like him.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great finish, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah,
he had to choke him out like with a chain. I thought that was really cool. But
that's really bringing within an inch of his life.
I thought it was a pretty solid hardcore match. I liked it. but I don't like rant and rave over it. Like there's like people I saw like, oh, this is the greatest hardcore thing. I was like, oh, it's all right. Like, I didn't hate it. You know?
Yeah.
As long as Hangman won, and funny enough,
right
Hangman won with the Hangman.
Right person.
So that's how.
I thought that was cool. The right person.
Listen, I've heard some other type of connotations about that name recently, so I feel some kind of way about Paige. What's this?
Elaborate. You can't just drop that and then stop.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
And what was the second thing?
He wrong on the AEW women's division when he said that it's not. It is. He is big. I don't like that because we are here for women positivity and all of that other stuff. We don't do that.
But you know what it is. In his defense, I think the way he calls his matches is that it doesn't matter if it's women or men. Match is a match. You know what I mean? So it's about calling it down the middle. So he's very objective. Like it's not necessarily shaming the women for being women. It's not like that.
I think just all of us in general expect, being that AEW's been so progressive with the women's division.
They are progressive.
But it's to me, it's not. At least I'm just paraphrasing from what I believe.
What? Okay, can all 3 of y'all just elaborate what it is exactly y'all are looking for, so I could tell y'all if that's some BS or if not? Because
no. We all 3 different men.
That's why it's 3 different. That's why she asked for each opinion.
Some of the stuff is not making sense and it's not fair to the women. So I need to know what exactly is it that y'all looking for? Because do y'all look for that same shit in the WWE women's division, or is it just them?
I will say this on one caveat. I'm willing to do that, but you have to put that ruler down first. Secondly, I can feel the wrath of that ruler from here, and I'm in a whole other state. Secondly, I think the one thing that I would like to see more of is more women in more storylines. Just that. I think they do a decent job of that in WWE. I'm not saying like WWE is king or whatever, because they have their problems as well. As far as the presentation of women, for example, you'll get women in more than one storyline, but they'll get a bunch of short matches. It doesn't really do the storyline any justice. I think AEW is the opposite. You'll get a random match between 2 women that gets a fair amount of screen time, but for no reason. So it's hard to get invested in the match. I think that if we got more storylines, like right now we have one storyline featuring multiple women, but it's like 6 women against each. Like it's a combination of those 6 women that you see throughout the show. So it's either like Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Ruby Soho, Toni Storm, who a lot of people forget is a goddamn champion, and Saraya. So it's 5 women essentially acting out one storyline that you see a combination of throughout the entire show. I'd like to see more women perhaps either get in the mix or have their own issues to deal with throughout the show. I think they're getting there with Julia Hart. I'd like to see where she goes, like from.
Okay, let me add to that. The reason why these women are on the show, because every time when the demo card comes out, when it's dealing with the women division, Britt Baker is up, Jamie Hayter is up, Ruby Soho is up. Those 3 are up, and even Saraya is up. But when Jade is on there, low. Every other woman that y'all want to see on there is low. So you got to put your money where your mouth is. Next.
Oh no! Listen, I watch wrestling for wrestling.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school for quite some time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm having flashbacks. I don't like it. I like wrestling for wrestling, so I could give 2 shits what you are.
Milk toast.
But do I not say that all the time? Do I not say that all the time? I call it like it is. I'm all about wrestling. Period. It doesn't matter.
Say your opinion, like get the tongue lashing, like I just did.
Bro, I enjoyed the match.
I was talking about this the other day because like every time I look at, when I have my show, I pay attention to the demo. I pay attention to who is the AEW mercher of the top team.
I think that's
I pay attention to things like that. So I'll be like, why? Like people can't say we want this person, and then of course they gotta appease the network.
Yeah.
So if the network is seeing,
you're absolutely 100% right.
So if the network is seeing they coming through for these women, but y'all not coming through for these women, they're not gonna put them on TV. That's why we keep saying. I know people are tired of seeing Britt Baker, but Britt Baker makes the money. Like her merch is always selling. Her demos is always up, so we got to, like, when Jay Cargill wrestles this Wednesday, y'all people got to show up. Just tune in to shit. If it's not good, just tune in so they can prove that, hey, this woman is money.
I get what you're saying, and I wholeheartedly agree with you, and that's an excellent point. You do have to go with what works, right? Especially when it comes to your fans and who's buying merchandise, because that's what generates money. That's the bottom line. I think that a lot of fans forget. Like, be damned, like I'm pretty sure that if Tony Khan can make billions of dollars, like he can give a damn about work rate. Like let's get that out of the way, right? But at the same token, how do you get, like, I want to ask you this because I think you make excellent points. Like you're hitting a lot of things that most people don't readily think of, myself included, in a lot of cases, right? How do you make those new stars if that's the case? If you still keep going with those hot hands, are they getting rubs by being in matches with these people? Because I don't see it. Like my question is, like, okay, let's take a prospect that they have, for example, just a random prospect, Sky Blue or something like that, right? How do they build that person to be a star when you have to focus that much attention on the people who are drawing money?
Because Sky Blue, she wrestles. She doesn't mind being booked. She doesn't mind taking those losses prior to somebody that, hey, I want to take a vacation. Hey, I really feel like you need to do a match. Nah, I got something planned up. Me and my man we got something planned up. So that's what I'm saying. You can't have it both ways. So Sky Blue's been the one that's, hey, you got a match, but of course you're gonna lose. Sky Blue, she's gonna take that opportunity, and we seeing her progress. And as we're seeing her progress, she is actually drawing the crowd. Like, hey, the crowd is starting to see, hey, this girl's pretty good. We're gonna tune in. So that's the same that happened to Willow Nightingale. People are into Willow Nightingale now because Willow Nightingale, she works. So that's why I'm like, she can't really have it both ways. Like, you can't be like, hey, we want you to wrestle. I don't really want to wrestle her. I got something to do, because she does do that. That she has the freedom. She has the freedom. So you got to keep that in mind too. It's not just, oh, Tony ain't got shit for me. It's more of, I got something planned. We see it because she take pictures all the time. Like, you see her taking pictures in Jamaica. You see her taking pictures. She's somewhere. She everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he may not have nothing. It's more like, I'm not trying to get on her bad side. If that's what she wants to do, then that's what she wants to do. We need you to wrestle, but you keep saying, you keep making other things. So, but I guess now she's starting to see that, like, you cannot progress if you don't work.
And I think also to on both sides of the coin, right, of the conversation, to one point, absolutely, and Stretch, when you think about it, right, doesn't every wrestler go through that? You know what I mean? They go through those losses. No, I know. But that's kind of how the game goes. You know what I mean? You quote unquote pay your dues, and you go through these losses, but you get the experience, and then the experience helps push you. You're able to go to different places. She was just in New York last Friday. She was wrestling in the Bronx. She wrestled in a tag match, and I know Ruthless Lala was one of her opponents. And then, you know what I mean? But then she's able to go back to AEW. Maybe she's on Darkness.
No, I get what you're saying. And that's I asked that primarily just to see how her answer.
My fault.
Actually, very articulate answer.
I have no idea why.
But no, I asked that, and you make up an excellent point, because that is something that a lot of fans who clamor for people to get pushed, or who would like to see somebody get pushed, it's not just necessarily just, here's opportunity, I will grant it, right? You have to have some type of, some type of commodity of some sort, some type of want to see a person, some type of drawing power or something like that. You know what I find interesting, and this is an interesting example from WCW, and you might be familiar with this because you're familiar with the cruiserweight division and the wrestling at that time. You know who was one of the consistent drawers during that time in WCW, ratings-wise, and I just found out the other day? The Disco Inferno. That's why he always was on TV, because people watched the Disco Inferno for whatever reason. He was always
because we used to like to watch him lose.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And people like to watch him
what it
lose. That's an excellent point. Like, he may not
Well, that and
but he
Disco
was always
Fever.
very visible.
Disco Fever.
You know, that people remember the gimmick. He was always very visible. He got a TV title reign and a cruiserweight championship reign out of that gimmick. So it's like, hey, how bad could it have been, right?
Yeah.
But I say that to say she makes an excellent point. You have to have some type of value in a sense of people wanting to watch you and people buying stuff. That's a big part of the business. She's absolutely right. I can't argue against that.
It's also kind of like Jamie Hayter as well. Before she teamed up with Britt Baker, like Jamie Hayter was always fighting, and people just started liking her over time. Like some people, they get drawn in over time. Some people, it just doesn't work. But
I mean,
with Jade, it can work. We just have to. I just feel like people really just kind of have to step up as far. Like, even if you don't watch AEW, at least just watch her match so they can see that, hey, she is money. Then far as just saying, oh, she's only hot online. Like, they only like her on the internet. They don't like her, and because they pay attention to that stuff. So
yeah, for every Drew McIntyre, you need at least 5 Heath Slaters. So
yeah,
good. So
and like, so let's say we put this on a grander scale, right? Kofi Mania, like, yeah, he's already loved, but it was the fans that ended up propelling him to that moment. If it wasn't for, that's one of those moments where if it wasn't for the love and the love of the fans, that could have never happened. That probably wouldn't have happened. So it's all about, who gets behind what at what time. You know what I mean? Real quick, let's jump into Dynamite for a bit.
Boom. Goes to Dynamite.
We know that there's going to be a 3-team triple threat trios title tag match. There's a lot of T's in that. I don't know how I did that. That's going to happen tomorrow.
Triple trio threat.
So last week there was an interaction between the House of Black, the Elite, and the Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't know about y'all. I think it's going to be a fun-ass match tomorrow. My question is, how are they going to do it? Is it going to be 3 men, like the 3 in the ring and the 2 are on the, like, because, sometimes they decide to do matches and you're like, is all hell going to break loose? I mean, obviously it's going to break loose, but like, how what are the rules? And it's like, a DQ in a Hell in a Cell match. That makes no sense.
AES is in there to take the fall. That's all that's going to be, honestly.
Yeah, you got to keep both teams strong.
I think that just it's a way to screw the Elite out of a possible victory.
Yeah,
but it also keeps Jericho Appreciation Society relevant.
And I think there's a lot of history in this match too. There's a lot of people who've had history in the past. Obviously, the biggest one is Jericho and Omega. We already know that. We know
Winnipeg.
Yeah, we know that and they're going to be in Winnipeg, which is going to make it even crazier tomorrow night. We know that the Bucks and Les Sex Gods had a little thing going on for a little while. Obviously, the House of Black has interacted with the Elite. We already know that. That's obvious. So it's just, and even in the past, I'm pretty sure Malachi and Jericho, because that's what he was back then. But Alistair and Jericho had that interaction in the E. I'm pretty sure at least once. So yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. MJF is having a what do you call it? A rebat mitzvah?
Yep, rebat mitzvah.
Yeah.
What in the hell?
Well, I don't know if you've seen the photo. I actually seen the photo earlier today. He had a WWE themed
Yeah. I saw that.
Bat mitzvah, and
I saw
he's
it
like,
yesterday.
"Oh, you know, I'm not suing for a logo trademark because I did it first for my birthday." But he says he respects the Miz. If nobody knows, he basically had the upside down M with the logo.
Man, they spelled Rick R-I-C-K. Who did these tickets? I need to know. Ruin that boy's dreams. This is probably why he's the heel he is now.
I wanted to say though, also in a triple threat match, y'all gotta pay attention to Jazz because it's actually a story between Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah,
it's basically the fight of Jericho. And if you've been paying attention, Daniel Garcia helps Sammy gets wins, but Sammy always fuck up Daniel Garcia getting wins.
Yep.
Jericho's paying attention to that, so I feel like they might start with that on this match coming Wednesday.
God, who knows where that's gonna go?
Yeah, I think very much so. Whoever takes the fall in that match out of those three is definitely gonna be the one to watch.
See, I'm trying to get both shows in one. Last week, Orange Cassidy had defended the All Atlantic Championship against Jay. I know what I said. I got this. The All Atlantic Championship.
Jay Lethal, right?
To Jay Lethal. Okay. Hell of a match. We know that was going to happen. Jay Lethal is a living legend. I don't care what anybody says. Mainly for dating AJ Lee. But that's not the point. What, man? Don't judge me. But we also know that this week he is defending the international title.
Yes.
Against Jeff Jarrett.
AKA what it should have been named.
Look, man.
Bree who for the Bree who?
International is now all inclusive as a
listen.
Atlantic, which is weird.
I don't ask no questions.
I just love how they spun it, though. I just love how they spun it. We're gonna promote the hell out of Shazam. We're gonna defend this title in Canada, and we're gonna change the name because the company wants us to change the name. No, just say you messed up, and this sounds way better. And we're gonna put all the flags on it now because it's really your IC belt. That's really what it is. So why not?
Hey, listen. Not once again. I'm not asking it, Tony. Let's get to it. Not every announcement is a major announcement, dog. It's just an announcement. That could have been normal. Hey, listen, just so you know, we're changing the name. Like it could have been a commercial.
Or just
you know what I mean?
He's trolling them journalists.
Just pop on. He's
trolling them journalists.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But he's defending against Jeff Jarrett this week after Jarrett messed up his knee after a guitar shot to the knee. And he called his mama a slap nuts. So
so slap nuts did a slap knee.
Yeah.
And is in a title match now.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett.
You know,
see this that one over there is all about the
critical as I've been to Jarrett in his like TNA run. I'm actually happy to see him wrestling again.
He's not doing bad, man, and he's still, and he's at his age, he's a lot more spry than a lot of other people.
He's in really good shape.
Benjamin Button,
fantastic shape.
Look, man, his knees are better than mine.
Just like Billy Gunn is too.
Yep. Listen, that man has never been out of shape. He's a monster. He's a monster.
But, looks better than the rest of his generation.
This is where Jarrett should be in a mid-card feud, just helping younger talent learn and wrestle and stuff like that. I think is a great position for him. I'd love it personally.
Yeah. Look, man, I'm just saying I'm not sure if I would be shocked if he won the title on Wednesday, tomorrow. I don't think I'd be shocked. It would be quite interesting.
They set it up in a way. That it's basically his match to lose. You have Cassidy with a huge injury at this moment.
Yeah,
and
I get it.
His legs are basically his most important thing out of his moveset because he needs to move. So if you're messed up one knee, what's to say I don't, chop block you and mess up the other knee one time?
Yeah, but you know what? Also, everybody loves that underdog story. So it could be.
But of course, we're gonna get a match. We're definitely going to get a match.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Also, think of one of Jarrett's finishing maneuvers, figure 4 leg lock. So why wouldn't he soften up before the match?
Yep. I think last week Ruby Soho delivered a hell of a promo.
A big promo.
She destroyed the game yesterday. It was crazy. Ronnie's out here singing Double J's lyrics. Can't stand him. But yeah, man, that was a hell of a promo, and she wasn't wrong. I gotta admit that there wasn't any lies detected in that promo. You know what I mean? She had a match with Sky. Yeah, she had a match with Sky Blue. Did a dastardly deed to win the match and hit the finish. The one question is, we already got one opinion, and just say a name, keep it quick. Who's the third member?
For which side?
For
Jamie?
Homegrown.
Either Willow Nightingale or shockingly, it's either Willow Nightingale or they may add Jade to this.
You think?
I feel like they may. They probably would add her to this.
Have the two champions interact. Yeah. I can see Jade screwing them over too.
Yeah,
and leading into the women's title match. Yeah.
Yes. That's why I was thinking that, because she did say she wants to Slick kind of drop that title to go to get the championship. Yeah. So I was like, maybe they could add Jade. And then they can add Willow Nightingale because of the relationship that she had with Ruby Soho.
Yeah, and you could. It's good. It's easier to tell different stories with a blood and guts / war game / whatever the hell you want to call it match.
Mm-hmm.
They just proved they can do a blood and at least Willow's end. Like, she proved she can do a blood.
Oh yeah. Well, she did
the tag team. Like, I think she's perfect. And to have the jovial baby face, go through a match like that and get that type of raucous crowd behind you, perfect. She's just trajectories.
I think Sheeta's the shock.
I was gonna say Riho. I think Sheeta's portion of that passed already, because then you're just gonna bring her back and it's like we already had you here. You already teetering. I think Riho is a good surprise pick, especially with her history with Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's out of left field. You're not going to expect that. You're expecting Willow. You're expecting Sheeta to come through. I think Rio's a good pick and a good X factor for that match.
But it makes more sense story wise if it was Sheeta, because of the way Paige tried to play on her, like she wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see that, but that's with the visa thing and stuff like that. That's to what you're saying. But that's why I'm like, maybe they could add or shockingly, Cass Statlander might be coming back, because her new merch is out. They don't release no new merch for no reason.
Who's Statlander?
Yeah, the new merch.
Oh, maybe she would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was released last week on the website.
That's what I said. I was in. As a matter of fact, I might have been in Coffee with Rev, and we were talking about it. And shout out to Rev and Sloan and the whole crew. That I think Stat is good now. I think she's much better. Her legs good, everything's all right, and she can come back and be a monster now. You know what I mean? We can.
But that match happens tomorrow.
That match tomorrow. No. We're just no. This is
speculating
just
for the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
So something else. Last week, so we had Dark Order, Silver and Reynolds versus Moxley and the ROH champ.
Good match.
Castagnoli. Yeah. Great match. No, I knew it was going to be a great match. All four men can work in the ring. They've been teasing this for a while, but it's official now. The BCC is now a heel faction. The question is, do they go for the trios titles? Do they figure out a way for somebody to go? Because obviously we know, in my opinion, it's going to be Paige versus Castagnoli for the ROH title.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to end up that's going to be the match for Supercard of Honor, not for an AEW show. Which, side note, Supercard of Honor is looking like it's going to be real damn good. But
lucky bastards.
Oh man, I can't wait. But like I said, you know, they're essentially a heel faction now. It was real interesting the way he didn't interact with Mox and Mox didn't interact with him. But Castagnoli, oh, we could fight, dog.
I'll beat your ass too.
Yeah, right.
That's what he said.
I'll whoop your. But I think at this point it's like, what are they going to do with the Dark Order? You got to figure something out. I love the Dark Order, but there needs to be something done. Instead of just being cannon fodder. And like I said, it's going to lead to that match. That's for sure. Something I did want to say, we were talking about Jade. She has the open challenge for her title in Canada. She's asking for the best of Canada to come through. It was funny. She tagged Natty, talking about Natty. Why don't you come back and challenge? Which, listen, if they figured out a way, Natty pisses me off sometimes, but I'd be okay with that.
I feel like it might be Taya.
Yep.
That's the rumor right now.
Taya.
They're finishing her up with her Impact contract.
That's so great team. I was
definitely
super impressed that she just melded so well with them. So,
well, you gotta remember too, man. She has that history with Rosemary, so I think it was very easy for her for them to team up together. But if it's Taya versus Jade, man, that's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Definitely
gonna be a lot better.
She's a vet that will make Jay look good.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely.
So it will be good if Taya, because Taya knows how to work with quote. I'm not gonna call Jay Green, but she's good at helping girls that is trying to improve, and she'll be the correct vet to tell her, hey, just if you trust me, I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel the strength battle is there too. I feel Tyler can definitely, but it more so on the technical side as well. Like the trickiness of Taya can definitely outsmart Jade. But if she needs to have a strength for strength battle, she can definitely hold her own.
Yes.
And I feel we haven't seen that since maybe Nyla Rose, but to have the veteran knowledge and the experience, that's going to be an amazing match.
And also, I forgot to mention when it came to the BCC versus Paige in the Order, there's actually a triple threat match. A trios match between the two teams this Wednesday.
That is the returning Super Smash Brothers or original Dark Order tag team of Stu Grayson. And
apparently Stu signed back, right?
Yeah.
It might be one night only, but if he did sign back, If it's not one night only, I really hope he's back because that's their strongest pairing, and they need to have them back.
Listen, man, I miss Super Smash Brothers Player 1, Player 2. But listen, they've always been a great tag team. I think that particular tag team should have had the titles, even if it was for a little while, because they really did work their ass off to really get the Dark Order going. The comedy bits were great and they really got them over, but the beginning stages, it was really Brody and them. And honestly, at the very beginning, it was them, period.
Yeah.
So I would love to see them back together, whether it was, even if they broke them up at this point, you know what I mean? We already know that the other two are going to be great as a tag team. Yep. Put those two as a tag team. If you really want to, put them in ROH. They would kill in ROH. So, but yeah,
this is the strongest pairing for the Dark Order.
Yeah,
hands down.
So,
and I think they should. I honestly think they should win. Especially because they're in Canada. Give the win to them. I don't think they get it easy, obviously, but at some type of
You deserve
trickery.
definitely to fall.
Oh,
you know what?
Well, yes, it is Hangman, and
you know what?
no, you
I'm
could do
going to say
Hangman covers.
Hangman pins Claudio.
Yep, and then that's how you get the title match. It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible. Also, did you guys know that the trio of Soho, Storm, and Soraya's name? Do you know what their name is now?
Mm-hmm.
The
Outcasts. Outcasts. I said outsiders. Outcasts. Same thing.
So I'm just waiting for the women's tag titles when they're ready for it, because they have so many women at this point. They can do whatever the fuck they want, even if it's between,
they got the women and the shows. Like you got it all right now.
Even if it's between AEW and ROH, which I'm sure they won't do, but even if it's between AEW and ROH, like have a real big streamlined women's tag division.
They trying to see how successful this goes.
Mm-hmm.
If this is successful, like if they make this storyline, because we know it's a replica of the Outsiders NWO storyline.
Yep.
But if they make it their own and it becomes successful, then they're gonna like, all right, now it's time to get another Mick Carter belt for this division. Y'all are ready.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
This is it. This women's blood and guts gotta
make
deliver.
Or break. Make or break, man.
Yeah.
So,
and I know they can deliver.
Oh,
I really just hope it's booked well. I know they can deliver.
Yeah, for sure.
The booking has always been my issue with the women's division. I feel they have it. Give them the time to do it, but you also have to give them the storylines that make sense to get them there.
I think, and to also to Stretch's point from earlier, before I was really interrupted by my internet. And I think that's what he means when he says about the representation of women having different storylines. Like we can have these 6, which is fine, but then why don't we have another 2 or 3 prominent storylines? You do have all of the shows to do it. You have 4 shows on television right now, or excuse me, but you have 4 shows syndicating right now. You know, you have more than enough time to. Why don't you use Darker Elevation not only as wrestling shows, but to progress stories? That's what you're doing with BT. You're doing that with BT.
But people kept slandering Dark and Elevation. They tried.
That's true too.
They tried doing that, and they kept slandering it. Like, okay, so we're gonna stop. Just like at a point of time in 2019 and 2020, they did try.
No, you're right.
Concept with 2 storylines in the women's division. One was outdoing the other, so the network decided we're just gonna stick with one until maybe if y'all do book another women's, like that's why they was testing the whole.
It has to be top tier.
That was the Swole storyline, and there was what was the other one? I know Swole, and there was another storyline.
Diamante, right?
Yeah, Diamante. Swole and Diamante, and then the other one that was they was adding the Red Velvet and the Jade.
There we go. Okay.
Too, but you have to remember last year when they did the storyline with Athena and Jade, while they did the storyline with Britt Baker and them, and the Britt Baker storyline was getting more on the demo prior to Jade and Athena. So they look at that like they feeling this one, and this one we gonna have to just double it down to 1 until. So that's why I say it's up to us. But we know it has a lot to do with racism too. They was not gonna watch 2 women on. We already whatever. That's another subject. But
you ask for the inclusion. You ask for the alternative to be that and strengthen these things that are lacking elsewhere, and you're not doing the proper work for it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. I love saying the terminology slap in the face. It's a bit of a slap in the face because you've made it your front and center thing of, we're going to have Nyla Rose as the first women, or, the first women's champion of her stature and of her, I don't want to say gender, but
identity.
Right. Or identity. Right. And then you making the progressive stuff. You're doing the progressive things. But now that you're at this spot where you've done all that, you have to really just branch it out. I know things aren't going to be the best on both ends. You're going to have a prominent storyline regardless to what. But it's just like you bring up the TNT title, how it's hot potatoing. You have so many different titles. You have so many different storylines branching out of that. I'm not saying Jade is holding the belt hostage, but I feel you have the women's title. Jamie's doing what she has to do, and which I feel previous champions really weren't doing, is where she's having amazing matches with everybody she's with. And I feel that's what they definitely needed for the women's title. But if they're going to push Jade to that women's title match and get the TBS championship off her, they have perfect opportunity to just build everybody to that point.
To add to that though, because the way America is working, that's why y'all haven't seen Nyla Rose on TV, because we're in these states that's not allowing transgender to perform. And to protect her, you know, Tony can't book her. Just like, you know, people been asking where's Sunny. It's the same thing. That's why the only one, of course, unfortunately, that they're able to debut is from the Acclaim, because he looks more masculine.
Yeah.
Even though he's gay, but he's masculine. He still has the masculine. So they're able to do him.
People can accept him more.
Yeah, he's more the acceptable gay. So that's why of course they wanted to pitch in the Nyla Rose because she said this, but being that we're in these states that are not, you know, they're not allowing trans to perform. Yeah, so it's unfortunate. But I definitely agree with what you're saying, because, you know, we've said this last night. Like, it's like we want Jade to debut more, but at the same time, she cannot be nitpicking her opponents on who she wants to. Exactly. Like, you can't do that. Yeah. Like, you can't be like, look, we got this person, you know, because we're trying to help you build. Oh, I don't want to wrestle her. I don't trust her. Like, you can't be like that. It's not fair. And we want to see you progress, but you can't pick and choose. You know, you have to do the work. And I hate to see her be compared to Bianca, but Bianca did the work.
Yeah.
Bianca's, you know,
even with the losing, even in her losses, she's built herself back up.
Right. She did the work. And even though, you know, I hate to say it, but I kind of see why Vince has his contracts how he does. Like, I know y'all want to go on vacation, but y'all need to be in the ring. Y'all need to work. Y'all need to, you know what I'm saying? I see why he do that now, because now you got this freedom to tell your boss, oh, I'm on vacation. I'll be back next Wednesday. You know what I'm saying?
It's the my boss is my friend. It's the my boss is my friend mentality.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like, all right, we cool. I got this. I'll be back. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got this. Like,
and Tony is like, I don't want to piss Jade off, because
he's like that. He's probably like that with a lot of people.
I'm scared of her, but I like her, but I'm scared of her too. So I don't want to rub her the wrong way.
Tara's fast. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So it's like. But I definitely agree with what y'all saying.
Yeah, no knock to Jade. No knock to Jade in the sense that, you know, she's amazing. I've always loved Jade from day one. My situation is you fed her the same opponents over and over and over again. You sprinkle somebody new in. Like, even the Madison Rain match, I think the Madison Rain match could have been a lot bigger or better than what it was, because you're facing a vet.
Mm-hmm.
You squashed her in like 5 minutes, understandably strength-wise, but you need
she's still a vet. Right.
You need that dynamic of, you know, Jade's not smarter than these people. She's still fairly new. So she should be getting outsmarted. She should be getting out technical wrestled and stuff like that. But you're showcasing so much of her strength that you're not showing the chinks in the armor. Like, we're seeing it as fans, but you're not presenting it that way, where, you know, we have a strong champion and she's having these near matches where she can lose at any given match, you know, going forward. I'll compare it to, and I don't like comparison politics either, but I'll compare it to Cody. When Cody was TNT champion, almost every match he had was like a life or death match that he was having, because he put over his opponents in such too often, understandably.
Because he was extra.
But he was so adamant on putting these people over. But even if it was 5 minutes or longer, you're still seeing that, you know, he's putting these people over in a way in a match. So she is great. She has a championship, but I feel it is being held hostage in a sense where she can do much better with it. It's just a matter of when does Tony put his foot down and say, "Hey, I have Jamie here. You're the special attraction, I guess you can say, but I have to present you much better. I have to give you this type of competition."
And you can't just bring up Cody Jackson, Martin Luther King Rhodes. With that, no, I'm just playing. Oh no, I've gone. It's gotten a lot worse. Aloysius Jackson, Cody. Yeah, I've gone in. The very one
out to levels you have no idea. We will give him all types of names.
It's good times. Wait till the 100th episode. Oh, side note, 100th episode is coming very soon. We'll make sure to keep y'all updated. Make sure you pay attention to the social medias. We'll make sure I'll talk about it a little later. Last week, main event, TNT title match was the challenger, the face of the Revolution.
You mean the Sonic Ring champion?
Hey. We're gonna leave my favorite video game character out of this. I knew we were friends for a reason.
Leave Sonic alone.
He's the greatest.
Oh, I love Sonic.
Greatest of all time, baby. But it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus the two-time new crown TNT champion Wardlow. Hell of a match they put on. What a swanton bomb through the table. From the top of the turnbuckle to the floor. They went through the crowd. They started backstage. My man was in Tim's. You knew it was going down. He got, he wasn't from there, but that real Brooklyn energy came out of him. That real Jamaica Avenue, Queens vibe. Shout out. But he was going to do it in his overalls. But it was a great match. There was a lot of great spots. The biggest thing, obviously, is that QT, he's a man of his word. Mm-hmm. As much as people was very confused, he is a man of his word. And he told him, "Storytelling. You need me, I got your back." Mm-hmm. He got his back all right. And they put that man, powerbombed him through a damn table to the floor from the stage. 1, 2, 3. Your new TNT champion. And well-deserved, long overdue, Powerhouse Hobbs. Man, so proud of you. We got another and just another black champion. But I just want to say, number one, we're killing the game right now. I don't know if y'all know. We are crushing it. Number two, do you have any thoughts of the match?
Big meaty men, or whatever Big E used to say.
Big meaty men slap me.
Yeah, that's what it was. But the swanton bomb, I was just like, oh, he's too big for that. But it was great.
That was Wardlow, right?
He came out and didn't confuse me, but then I also like, oh shit, the Ricky storyline. The Ricky storyline? That's what.
I almost forgot about that too. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Before,
the Ricky story. Okay. That's why he up there. Because at first I was like, QT Marshall. I was about to get mad.
I think everybody had the same response.
I was like, what the hell he do? Oh, the Ricky shit. Okay. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I got it. I was like, okay. But I really think I have to see it work because I've always said that Powerhouse Hobbs is great. Of course, he's good on his own, but I think if he was partnered up with a manager, it'll make it better.
Yeah.
And, being that QT said that it's no more of the Nightmare Factory. So it will be a great pair. QT is great on the mic. He's just annoying.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it work.
Yeah, he's just annoying. That's all. So I feel like maybe it will be a little bit different this time. Yeah. So we just have to. That's one of those you just have to wait and see. You got to let the chef cook on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
They ain't ready yet.
Right.
So hopefully we see something tomorrow night in Canada. We'll see what they have.
Well, QT is going to debut QTV, hence what was on the shirt. So I guess we will definitely see what that is tomorrow. Stretch?
I like that. I think that Hobbs winning, I would love to see what he does with the opportunity. He's gotten really, really good. He's like in the line of like that most improved. Like he's in that Britt Baker category. Like he improved really, really quickly. Like and he's somebody that they invested in from like day one. I'm excited to see what he does with the opportunity. I think pairing him with QT is a decent move. I'm excited to see where it goes because QT, to me, I think QT is kind of bland in the ring, but he is very more than serviceable on the mic. And I think like Hobbs kind of does need like that mouthpiece for this time. So I'm definitely excited to see where he goes with the opportunity. And I think there's an opportunity for him to come out with a tiger named Calvin.
Calvin and Hobbs.
Not the throwback.
I can't stand you for you, Calvin and Hobbs. Why, Lord, why?
That tiger named Calvin, I think that'd be awesome.
I think there's two other things. Number one, I would never forgive them for giving QT the Diamond Cutter. Never, ever. I would never forgive you. Never, ever. Never, ever. That is my favorite finisher of all time. DDP stuck that shit from.
Let's give the guy with hair plugs a Diamond Cutter. That'd be great.
Let's not talk about this, okay? It makes me very emotional.
He didn't say, I honor you, did he?
What do you say in Raid of Rumble? Upside down, is it? But number two, who's mad old. Number two, I think we're not mentioning yes, as much as a lot of us are excited for Powerhouse Hobbs, I think a lot of us are not mentioning the other side of the coin, which is obviously Wardlow. I think this definitely could put him in the main event conversation, at least start building him to be in that main event spot. Honestly, I think MJF kind of owes him one. Randy, my brother, was good.
I mean, I think he may just he may be the one to take the title, honestly.
It's a possibility, but I think there's a lot of different. Here's the thing. There's a lot of different cards that you could use. You could use Wardlow. You could who?
Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, listen.
Interesting.
All right, I'll go put a shirt on right now.
Do we want to face Adam Cole though?
Yeah, hell yeah.
In this case, it's a good promo battle. Yeah, I could definitely see it. I could definitely
listen. You already know I'm
a
fan for Adam Cole.
The cocky baby face. Why not?
It's either Adam Cole or the pillar that he can't beat is Jungle Boy. It's either those.
Well, I think there's a little more than just those two. I think as possibilities for people if you build them right. Obviously, Adam Cole is obvious. I think he's an obvious champion. He's an uncrowned champion waiting to happen. Jungle Boy, he's obviously been working hard as all hell as a singles competitor, and he's been killing every match that he's been in, whether it's a tag or not.
Yep.
Once again, Wardlow, there's already the story, and I think MJF truly does owe him one for that match that they had before. I think Ricky Starks.
He mentioned.
I think Ricky Starks is a strong possibility. They're growing him regardless of how people feel about this Jericho feud. The fact of the matter is that he beat one of the greatest of all time twice.
Yep.
So obviously there's something special. He's hella over. I'm mad I just said hella. He's super over. And yeah, the other one is obviously Hangman Page. I think there's a run. I think there's a run that a lot of fans feel that need to be rectified. There was a lot of hate on his run in the first go round, and I mean, listen, there's a multitude of reasons that we could come up with, but the fact of the matter is that we know that a lot of fans didn't like it. So the whole thing is just a simple fact that he might need that second run, and we know a lot of champions' second runs are more so the more memorable ones anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, a lot of people, even in the WWE, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Roman's run is more memorable the second go round than the first one.
Because I sure forgot about the first one.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Who? The very first one?
Yeah, who did
he beat? John.
See, forgot.
He beat John. It was at the end of the tournament, and it was a 1-on-1 match. He won the title. The second time he won the title, I believe, was against Triple H.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. It was WrestleMania.
Sheamus, you're right. Touche.
Was it Sheamus?
See, that's why you're the encyclopedia right there. That's why you're my encyclopedia. I love you.
Remember he won the title of Survivor Series against Moxley, right?
Yeah.
Sheamus cashed in. He won Money in the Bank. Cashed in. Not too long after the failed League of Nations experiment.
I still love that theme.
Yeah.
Fucking experiment. But he beat Sheamus in a rematch. Remember when he Superman punched Vince and the crowd popped in Philadelphia for it? He Superman punched Vince and then the crowd popped and then he got the pin and he won. He lost the title to Triple H in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And then won that
WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be the second go round was Triple H.
No, the second go round was Sheamus. The third go round was Triple H. That's why he just went through this tangent. That's exactly why he just.
So you're not listening to the
Moxley. Are you not?
Bring out the ruler.
Go to sleep. Time to go night. It's late hour time. But yeah, man. So congrats to Powerhouse Hobbs for winning the title. Like I said, excited to see to where Wardlow goes now. I think there's unfinished business with Samoa Joe when it comes to Hobbs. So I don't think we're gonna get that soon, but let's see what happens. All in all, I think we're excited about tomorrow night. Side note, girl out here this way. Go over here killing it on her show yesterday.
Thank you.
Like always, had my own girl Meeks, and of course the person we're gonna have on next week, which we'll get to in a bit. Keeks, before we get off, I just wanted to ask: is there anything you wanted to tell the people before you give your socials and we get out of here?
Yes. Make sure if you're in the Chicago area, April 2nd, I will be on Behind the Magic Women of Color Wrestling Panel at Comic-Con in Chicago. I'm one of the guest speakers there. Y'all know I am nothing but honesty and I speak truth. So come out there if you're in the Chicago area. It is before WrestleMania. You're not missing shit. It's 1 or 2. So I don't want to hear, no, it's No, it's from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. It ends right at 2. So you have time to see WrestleMania that I forgot was in 2 weeks. Okay. So you have time to see it. So you can still go. The tickets is not that much for the Sunday. Now, if you're trying to go Saturday, I don't know what to tell you, but Sunday, I'll be there Sunday. Okay. So shout out to Kat. Follow her because she's doing a with the Women of Color panel. She has been doing all the Comic-Cons and it's been hosted by different women. So I am happy to be at the Chicago's panel. So catch me there. Also, I want to say thank you guys for having me. I know I was supposed to be here last week, but I'm here this week, so I apologize for that. But thank you guys for having me on here. No hard feelings with the ruler. I just I'm very passionate. So you know what I'm saying. I sometimes I gotta pull out my ruler when I'm
flashbacks.
But I'm not gonna get nobody. It's out of love. I'm just very passionate.
No, it's all right. We're just gonna sit here with our hands folded, back straight.
My hands folded now as I'm talking. If you like it, I'll do it right now.
If y'all knew, I'm not a Cowboys fan. That is my mama's flag behind me. She is just trolling me. So I am not an Eagles fan. Just in case. If you think I am, I'm not. Okay, that's just my mother's flag because she said they went to the Super Bowl still, even though they didn't win. She still has it up. Okay, so that's not me. So
we big G's over here. We big G's out here. You know what I'm saying? Giants all day.
That's that.
Giants all day. We don't care about neither one of them teams. We're in New York out here, baby.
I'm AFC all day. I'm not worried about no.
Don't make that face.
Y'all can enjoy.
We can have conversations about people that we both know. So don't play that. Don't make that face.
He said the Giants. Then y'all gave all that money to get that. Never mind.
I don't know. Wait, quick question.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, never mind. Oh wait, no. Give us your socials. Tell these people where they can find you.
Yes, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and also TikTok. All the same hashtag, All Elite with Keeks. My show airs on Public Enemies Podcast every Monday on live during Raw. Raw is not that good, so all y'all gotta do is put Raw on mute while y'all streaming into my stuff, because y'all not missing nothing on Raw. Okay, I promise you're not missing nothing. Even if you're not an AEW fan, if you still want to be enlightened and also just keep up to date what's going on, tune into my show. My show is the safest show for AEW fans all day, every day. So yeah, make sure you follow. I follow back. I feel like it's a mode. And if you out here in Texas, make sure you follow Wrestle Rave. I'm part of the crew, so make sure you follow Wrestle Rave. Make sure if you see me out there, because I should be out there sometime next month. But if you see me speak, if not, that's fine too. But make sure you follow Wrestle Rave. I should be in the New York area sometime soon. Whenever they release the Jarvis Slam date, I will make that. I would try my best to make that or whatever.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. So, I feel like I'm missing some more stuff, but oh well. Charge my mind, not my heart, because I feel like I'm missing something, but it's not coming to me. But thank you guys for having me on. Thank you. I love what y'all doing. Y'all are one of the ones that is honoring this month. Some people don't like women, but obviously, like, y'all love women. And I appreciate y'all for giving me this opportunity to talk my shit.
No, thank you. We appreciate you for being on. Look, man, we love the brand. We'll always support. So we appreciate you with your time, because you're a busy woman. So, with that being said, that's right.
Neckbeards. The fan base might be full of neckbeards, but
so there is actually a date for Jarvis Slam. It's July 27th. Shout out to Randy. Okay. Well, but yeah, they got the date and they got the date for all of. I got you. But once again, we appreciate you, folks. Next week. Wait, is the promo in there? The promo's in there, right? There. All right, cool. That's why next week. Not next week. Thursday. I'm so used to it being do 2 shows in one night in 1 week. It's weird. On Thursday, we got somebody who's super important to the brand. An amazing, wonderful woman that's been on the show before. Check it out. Oh yeah, baby.
Okay, my girl Janelle.
Yo, we got my sister Janelle. She's gonna be back in the building celebrating. It's Stone Cold night, baby. It's 3/16. Hell, who knows? We might crack a few beers and just enjoy the night. But once again, Keeks, thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate you. Hopefully you are coming in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? And wait. Wow, look who decided to make an appearance.
Made it home.
Wow.
My apologies, everybody. How are you?
Wait, the laugh.
No, Sissy on live, Sissy now.
It's beef time, baby. Ding, ding, ding.
I know it's your birthday week, but I don't like what you said about the sex death match.
Wait, no. I'm gonna put y'all next to each other.
Through and through, so you can't talk shit about the sex death
match. No, it's all taken.
I wouldn't make up anything, or try to stir the pot or anything like that. He says a lot of derogatory things about Texans. In fact, he told me that a doctor from Texas is another name for a tourist. Do with that what you will.
Oh shit. Wait, he's a pop starter. Don't listen to him. You see how you just said that shit and dipped?
Exactly.
Professor Stretch is a professional instigator.
He's a professional instigator because he want to see me get he want to see me get whipped up. That's why.
That's exactly what that is.
No, as upset because we love that shit. That is the best Texas Deathmatch. That's how you supposed to do a Texas Deathmatch. If you see GCW trying to do a Texas Deathmatch, they not doing it right. They overdoing it. Right. They trying to kill somebody. Like they actually trying to kill somebody.
So I think you know what? I think I could retract that. I could be grown and retract that. I think that's because I'm going off the history of what I've seen with GCW. So I'm just like, all right, well.
No, they doing it wrong.
Okay.
They're overdoing it. They trying to kill somebody. It's a balance, and Adam Page and Moxley did the balance. I'm telling you, Von Erich would have been proud. So they did it correctly. So don't rewatch it.
No, it's all good. Listen. I said I rewatch it every time. I just want them to put it on YouTube because I'm tired of seeing it on pirated sites. I just want. I'm tired. It's hard.
Tired of going to the Pirate Bay.
And Tony
the Pirate Bay.
And keep a stream up.
Yo, wait. Side note. We're all hip hop heads. Yo, that Piff server shut down.
No, it did not.
I was told
they didn't.
They're going to repurpose it. They're going to put it on something else.
For what?
They're just going through technical issues. They're not.
Man, all them instrumentals I used to take off that shit in high school.
Is this battle man?
No, I know you're into it. No. That Piff used to download your like mixtapes and like instrumentals and things like that off there. People used to post their like excuse me, pardon me. People used to post their mixtapes on there. Like that was like 2002 in a way, but different. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like 2002, 2003. This is like my prime high school years. I'm old. But
that's the best thing
you. Hating ass. He's just excited because his birthday coming up. That's all that is. That young looking soul singer eating bastard.
Wow.
I mean out of love. All out of love.
Okay. That's
But see, this would have been the normal banter. Well, once again, we love you. We appreciate you for coming on Thursday. That's right, not next week. We're talking this Thursday, 3/16. We got Janelle on. It's gonna be a lot of fun, gentlemen. Let's do what we do.
I gotta do another podcast episode this week.
Well,
yep.
Well,
tired, bro.
You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one.
He's just like me for real.
Well, yeah. Well, unfortunately, you can follow me. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Forever Thiefing. Like I said on everything, I call everything down the middle. I really do tell a harsh truth. Sometimes it comes off harsh, but it's just the truth. We talk shit. We can banter. We can go back and forth, shoot shit, laugh. It's all love over here. Anytime, but if you do, but I will admit, I will say that to anyone else, future reference for anybody else. If y'all come in them mentions with some bullshit, you already know it's gonna go up. It's up. Regardless of the fact, thank you all for all the supporters. Thank you so much for always keep on rocking with us. Thank y'all for following us. Thank y'all. Thank you for the show. I'm still sorry that I wasn't able to actually be here for the whole entire thing. I had to work. Work is work. Work is a bitch. I know we all hate it, but sooner or later, I hope we gonna get to that point where we don't even gotta worry about going to work anymore.
We are gonna make it.
But that's it. Thank y'all.
Money bags.
Okay, well, that's everything that you can use to follow me down there. You can catch me on Instagram. You can catch me on Twitter. And I would also like to say, as a man who roots for a football team who's won a playoff game with a year with a 2 in it, please follow me back. I will follow you back. Thank you very much.
Was that great?
The shot.
I said nothing. I just wanted to point out a random fact. I usually do that.
Don DeMarco.
All in their futility.
One thing about Giants fans and Knicks fans, they always just gonna try to just throw that shot.
I'm happy for y'all Knicks fans. I love seeing y'all happy.
I sent the box score into silence not too long ago. I sent the box score in on what happened on Sunday night. Did I get a response? No. Thank you, man. Didn't say nothing.
No,
I had to hear from years your team ain't did anything like that.
I want Kyrie out of Dallas, so can y'all get him back?
Oh, don't worry, we'll take him. We're gonna take
get them back. Get them back. We don't do this. We don't do this in Dallas. We don't want to hear that. We don't come out here with that. Coming out here talking
it's
about
over now.
But the kids in Cobox are free
right now.
Oh man!
Don't turn around. Do a 180 and turn around. Look what's behind you. What's going on in Texas?
Come back. Return the sender.
Return the sender.
Look to your left and look to your.
He did the press conference. We was like, oh.
Look to your left and look to your right, and say, neighbor.
Neighbor. Oh shit!
Oh man!
Best outro ever.
Oh man! It's me, StrykerDragoon. All about that good energy. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch are all the same. YouTube is at StrykerDragoon131. The thank you 2023 video should be in the description. Hopefully, it still is. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And please just utter a thank you, Dragoon Haven, at the bottom of the video. The double game giveaway will be happening live March 31st, which is 2 weeks from now. I will be doing, I'll be giving away 2 games, from my hard-earned check to my loyal watchers and subscribers and followers. But please make sure to subscribe, comment on the video. And
please,
yeah, please, yes. I wish I had
some more porch, sir.
Yes, I need a silver plate, a nice rinky.
Can I get another game, sir? Well, please get another controller, sir.
But yes, it's finally over. I will be giving away the games, so I appreciate it. If you guys like watching all different types of games, shooting, fighting games, wrestling. Hopefully I get WWE 2K23 very soon. I'll be streaming that. Resident Evil as well, coming out I think next week. So
yes, sir.
That as well. Finishing Fire Emblem right now. So definitely just check out streams. Talk to me on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. Send some love to the council page, which you'll see in a little slide a little bit later. And that's it for me.
And as always, I am K Marvel. I don't know my handles anymore. I'm tired.
It's in front of you, sir.
I'm not looking anymore. My eyes are closed. Right. At Mr. Marvel87, both on Instagram and Twitter. Please follow A Different Angle, the mental health show I am a part of with my partner Rodney Harris. Comes on Fridays at 5 o'clock on prn.live. You can follow that 88 Pod 2023. Also, like I said earlier, we are on the road to episode 100. It's coming very soon. We will have flyers and details soon, so be on the lookout for that. Please, that is the wrong damn one. Ain't that about a bitch? Please follow the Four Corners of Commentary on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at The Council of Commentary, TikTok at Council of Commentary, and Twitter at CO Commentary. Also, know that we are always on all your favorite streaming platforms, some being YouTube again, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio. Once again, Keeks, girl, happy to have you on. You already know you're going to be on again. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
If you just want to bullshit, just hit me up and we'll set it up. We all need that break. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for rocking with us. We love y'all. The 4 of us, not the 3 of us, because earlier it was 3, but now it's 4. It's 4 of us, not 3. Are your 4 Corners of Commentary. Pow!
4 horsemen, yeah.
And we out. Peace.
And we out.